Hello guys, in today's video I'm going to teach you how to create Google search ads step by step, especially if you are a beginner and you want to generate leads. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So the first thing you want to do when creating your first search ad is to log into your Google Ad account, assuming you already have an active Google Ad account. And what you want to do is click on new campaign, provided you are in this tab that says campaign here, because that's where you can see this button that says new campaign. So you want to click on that, and it's going to take you to a menu where you can select your campaign objective. Now we have sales, that's if you want to drive online or in-app sales, and we have leads if you're trying to collect form submissions and email data. Then we have website traffic if you're trying to drive traffic to a website. Perhaps you want them to you've just written a blog and then you want traffic to read the blog. And here is where you can run ads for app promotion. If you have an app that you want traffic to install, you want new customers to install your app, then you can go for this campaign objective. Or if you want to drive YouTube reach, views and engagement, then you can choose this. Or if you are like a brick and mortar store and you have a physical address and you want people to walk into your store, then you can choose this. Or you can choose create a campaign without guidance. So when you click on this, it kind of open up a lot of options and a lot of customization in your ads. But if you are absolutely sure about your campaign objective, perhaps you want to drive sales to e-commerce store, or you are a B2B business and you're trying to generate leads that you can afterwards nurture via email marketing and on, then you can just choose leads. When you click on that, you can, so this is the conversion tracking that I've set previously, but it's absolutely editable and you can add more conversion tracking as you go on. So we're going to click on continue, and it's also going to open up different campaign types. And performance max here means it's more or less it's one of the new campaign types that Google has launched, and it's a campaign type that relies heavily on AI, and it it relies on automation as well. So what that means is what you mostly need to do is supply your business data, supply your headline, your ad assets into to Google, and Google would match them up together and discover ways to use all of your assets to drive the best results as possible. So here is the search which we are going to be using today, and here's for demand generation and conversions on YouTube, on Google Display Network, and more with image and video ads. So here's for video ad campaigns. If you want to run ads on YouTube, you're gonna use video. Or if you wanna do display campaigns, you wanna create banner ads that are gonna be on websites, on content website, on blogs, then you're gonna choose display. Or if you want to run shopping ads, you're gonna choose this. So since we're running search ads, we're gonna click on search. So here is where we're gonna choose which goal we would like to reach. Now since we are running ads to collect leads for lead form submissions, we're gonna click on this, and these are other available options as well. But since this is the goal we're trying to reach, we're just gonna click on this and leave it at that. and then we're going to click on continue, and here is where we're going to enter our campaign name. So there is a naming convention that is very good to follow, and that is first include the name, the date. I mean, the date of. You can always abbreviate, right? But let's just do this. The date that you created the campaign. So it's gonna be 22nd, and you want to include the campaign type, which is search, and then you also want to include the product that you're trying to promote. In this case, you're trying to promote commercial cleaning. You can just do com clean, and then you also want to include the location that we are trying to target. So for this example, we are trying to target customers who are in California, so you can do Cali. So with this, have we have a good idea of when the campaign was created and what kind of campaign it is, as well as the product we're trying to, or service we're trying to offer, and the location. Might as well just start in full. So this is very helpful, especially when you are running more campaigns and things are beginning to get advanced and things are beginning to get clumsy. When you dive into your ad account to optimize your campaigns, you with this naming convention you are able to know which is which without any confusion. So we're gonna click on continue, and we're gonna continue with the ad setup. So this is where you're gonna decide the bidding strategy that you want to focus on, and what you choose here depends heavily on whether you have been running ads on that account before or if it's a brand new Google Ads account. So, but nonetheless, even if it's a brand new Google Ad account and you are optimizing for a kind of conversion, in this case, lead form submission, I highly recommend that you opt for conversions as your bidding strategy and not clicks nor impression share. But impression share will be useful if you are like a big brand and then you have a large marketing budget and you want to do a lot of awareness marketing, like awareness campaigns, or you are trying to test things out, you're not ready to actually do serious ads just yet, then clicks might be okay for you. Or if you are selling like a tangible product that has value, that has monetary value associated with it, more or less like an e-commerce product, then you might want to go with conversion value. But in this case, we're just going to stick with conversions. So here is where you have the option to set a target cost per action. Now this is very useful when you have been running ads for a while and then you know your business numbers, you know how much you can afford to spend as your cost per action and still remain profitable. But if you don't have enough data yet, if your ad account is relatively new, then you might want to leave this for later. So here is where Google is asking you if you want to limit your campaigns to only new customers regardless of your business strategy. We're just going to leave this unchecked because we want our ads to run to both new and existing customers. We don't want to restrain our ads. So we're going to click on next, and then here is where we get to choose which network we want our ads to show in, and then we have Google Search Partners Network here, and then we have Google Display Network here, and they are both recommended for us to use by Google. However, I am not going to recommend that you check any of this. As a matter of fact, we're going to uncheck both, and the reason is unless you have a lot of budget if you select Google Search Partners Network, and that means your ads are going to show outside of Google platform. But unfortunately, the quality of traffic that you're going to get from most of Google Search Partners are going to be low quality. And regardless of if they are low quality, Google is still going to charge you anyway. So if you are tight on a budget, it's better you uncheck this. And it's similar to this as well. So if you check this, for instance, it means Google is going to show your ad to their display network. And the issue with that as well, similar to this, is that the quality of the traffic that you're going to get out of this is going to be so low that in most cases, it's not usually worth it. So we're going to uncheck both to keep all our ads on Google's platform. So we're going to advance to the next step in this ad creation process, which is to select our targeting location. So since we are not running our ads to all countries and territories, obviously, we're going to click on enter another location. So this is where we get to be precise on which location that we want to target. So since we are running these ads to customers in California, we're just going to select California here. We're going to type in California, and then it's going to populate these options. And then mind you have to be very sure about the location so that you don't mistakenly select a California that might be in another country altogether. So this is California, United States, and that's where we want to run our ads. So we're going to click on include, and of course we can add more locations if we want to. So there are, of course, that has advantages and that has disadvantages. So the advantage of adding more locations is that, especially assuming that you can actually service those locations, it's going to give you a large pool of audience to target. Alright, it's going to give you a large pool of audience, but when you slim down or you trim down your locations, you concentrate your ad on your best potential customers, quite alright, but that's going to also increase your cost per acquisition, because for a single target, there are lots of competition targeting that same location, and that's going to drive up your cost per acquisition. So moving on, here is one very important aspect, very important step when creating your ad is something hidden under this location option. So you have to click on that. So you have to be very intentional about what you select here, and the best option to select here is the second one, not the first one. The first one says your ads are gonna show to people who are present in the chosen location here, California, or people who have interest. So you're saying people regularly in, or who have shown interest in your included locations. Now, you don't want to show your ad to people who have shown interest in California, but instead you want to show your ads to people who live in California. Alright, so you don't want to show your ads to people who live in South Korea but have shown interest in California. No, that's not what you want. So you want to click on this second option here, which shows that people that have present in the chosen location. So here is where you also select the language that your ideal audience speak, and in this case English is set as the default, and we're just going to leave it at that. So here is where we're going to select if our ad has European Union, or if it's associated with European Union political ads, and no, we're going to click on no. And then here is where we are going to do some audience targeting under audience segment. So we're going to click on the drop down menu, and this is where we're going to decide, we're going to direct Google about who exactly to show our ads to. So when you come here under search, you are able to input what you think your ID customers search into Google Ads to find your business, to find your services. So in this example, since we are running ads for commercial cleaning, let's just put commercial cleaning in here and see what Google suggests. So here we can see that people are actually in market for home cleaning services, but mind you, our service is commercial cleaning, not home cleaning precisely. So you might want to scroll and see what more ideas Google has for us. So see. Okay, so these are the options that Google has provided for us, and we can choose which aligns most with what we want to do. So cleaning supplies, no. Plumbing services, no. General contracting and remodeling services, no. Electrical services, no. Food services, home inspection services. So none of these ideas by Google aligns with what we wish to target for. For instance, detailed demographics, construction industry. Okay, no. So let's go to browse. So under browse is where we can further refine our demographics. So under who they are, when you click on the drop down, you can see some more options where you can choose whether you want Google to show your ads to people who are parents, or you want to choose the marital status of your ID clients that you want Google to show your ads to. If you want Google to show your ads to single people or people in a relationship or married, or you want to select their education, whether you want Google to show your ads to people who are current college students. Of course, that doesn't align with our goal, so we can hit the back button here and explore more audience segments. So what are their interests? And so here is where we're going to need to have good information of our ideal audience, so that that's going to aid us in finding their affinity, their interest, and how we can target them correctly. So this is where you need to do your customer avatar, so that you'll be able to direct your ads to them correctly. So we have, okay, so under what are the actively researching and planning, so let's click on that and let's see what suggestions. Okay, so we have business services. Let's see what you have under business services. Payroll services, office supplies. No. Business technology. No. Let's see what more we have. Okay. Computers and peripherals, electronics, education, employment, event tickets, food and drinks, gifts and occasions. No. Software. Okay. So since we aren't finding a whole lot of, so maybe, okay, so let's go to in-market for remodeling services. we're not into remodeling, so let's go for. Okay, trying to find the manufacturing thing because people who are into manufacturing, they they often need commercial cleaning service. So if I can, okay, construction as well, they often need commercial cleaning services. Even people in the hospitality industry, they often need commercial cleaning services. So people in the manufacturing industries, they often need commercial cleaning services. Homeowners don't need commercial cleaning services unless we are offering home cleaning services. So okay, so for now, I think that's the most relevant audience that we can target. Um, so we're gonna ensure that our keyword are really good and that our keyword is bringing in the right kind of audience. So let's advance to the next part of the campaign creation process. So here is another interesting setting inside of the campaign creation process, and here the best option to choose here is observation because you want Google to determine who are most ideal, who are most relevant to show your ads to. You don't want to restrain Google in any way or form by selecting targeting. So you want to select observation so that Google doesn't narrow the reach of your campaign. So under more settings, we have ad rotation. There isn't much we're going to be doing here. So we have ad rotation, which helps you. Okay, let's see what we have under there. Okay, ad rotation, which helps you. Okay, I think it's adding to, yeah. So ad rotation is an automation, it's a Google automation process that helps you optimize your ads better by showing your best performing ads more, or by showing ads that are expected by Google's algorithms and machine learning to get more clicks or conversions. But for the most part, you won't be messing with that. And then here is where you can also set your ad schedule. You can set the start and end date of your ad, but you can always do that inside of the campaign itself. And here is also where you can decide whether you want Google to show your ads all day, or if you have observed your business well enough and then you have observed that your ads tend to get more clicks in a certain time of day, then you might want to set an ad schedule. And that's gonna be all for this step. We're gonna click on next. So AI Max is an AI uh, tool that helps you generate content for your Google Ads. So Google wants you to fast track your ad creating process with AI automation. So we're not going to be doing that. We're just going to click on next, and then here is where we are going to enter our final URL, which is okay. So after that, we're gonna okay. This is still okay. So we're just gonna click on skip. We can always input that later. So here is where you're gonna choose the keywords that you wanna target. So here again is where we're gonna enter our mass 247 gen.com. So okay, so let's see. So here is where we're going to enter our keywords, And entering relevant keywords is so important because the keyword that you input here has to match what you call search intent, the search intent of your ideal customers. And what that means is that the search query that they input into Google has to correlate with the keyword that you put inside of here to make your ads effective and relevant. And instead of keywords, we have things that we call match types. And there are generally three types of match types, keyword match types inside of Google Ads. And number one is the broad match. Now, the broad match is a match type that gives Google enough room and leeway to show your ads to people who don't even enter the actual keywords in your ads. So it's more or less like a way to be creative and a way to show your ads to people who might not essentially type in your keyword, but type in some form of variation of your keyword, or type in a keyword that Google believes that is pertinent to your service, pertinent to your ads. And then we have phrase match. Now, phrase match is a kind of keyword that you use when you want Google to show your ads to people who have input a certain kind of phrase in the Google search bar that are similar, that are either the same or similar to the keyword phrase that you are using. So what that means is that you want Google to show your ads to people who have entered the same phrase in your keywords, or phrases that are similar to the phrases in your keyword, right? And then we have exact match. It is the strictest of all. Now, exact match, you use exact match when you want Google to show your ads to people who enter the phrases in your keyword as is. Alright, so that means you don't want your ads to show to people who use any variant of your keywords. You want your ads to show to people who use your exact keyword, and that's why it's called exact match type. So we're going to be demonstrating what we mean by that. So when you want to use broad match, and the keyword we want to use here is commercial cleaning. So when you want to use broad match, you don't insert anything at the beginning or at the end of the keyword. But when you want to insert phrase match, for example, you want to put those inside quotation marks. So I'm gonna do commercial cleaning, and then when you want to use exact match, you're gonna put your keyword in what you call square brackets. So put in commercial cleaning here. So this is how to type in broad, phrase, and exact match types inside of Google Ads. Alright, so now that we have input some keywords, so what we want to do is we want to add some more keywords that are similar to each other. So we want to create tightly grouped keywords. And when you also are using keywords inside of your Google Ads, you want to use more of phrase match and less of broad match, unless you are trying to prospect for new leads, or unless you're trying to find new ways to show your ads to new audiences. But and you have a large budget, but for the most part, you're going to be using more of phrase match and a little bit of exact match when you're absolutely sure of the keyword and when you want to put tight reins on your ads. So I've added some more related keywords into the keyword list here. So you want to keep your keywords between 5 to 10, but ideally no more than 20. Um, and that's going to help Google understand your keyword selection better without overload or overwhelm. So what you want to do next is, now here is Google trying to encourage us to upgrade our keywords to broad match, but I've just explained these scenarios when you need to use broad match. So here is Google also encouraging us to add more keywords. But since this is a demonstration video, I just wanted to show you how keywords work and the different types of match types, and you can proceed to the next stage of the ads. So here is where you're gonna need to actually create the ad headlines, and other site assets, what you call site links and assets. Alright, so without further ado, so we're gonna need to enter our final URL here again. I don't know why we have to do that so much, but just do that. So a good practice is to also include your safety protocol here. Exactly. So that's gonna remove the warning sign. And then here is where we're gonna choose the display path. The display path is not a real URL, it's just a URL that helps to describe what your ad is about. So here we can put commercial maybe you can just commercial clothing. So when you usually all the edits that we make here, we're going to be able to see a preview of it to show us, I can just cancel that out, to show us what our ad would look like when we launch it. So we need to create headlines, and we need to create as much headlines as possible to give Google enough room to try and test a lot of variations to try to get the best result, as much result as possible out of our ad campaigns. Although Google advises us to add at least 5 headlines, but we want to add as much headlines as possible. So when I click on this, Google already gives us ideas based on our website and existing ads. So we're going to run with some of them, but that shouldn't stop us from doing our homework and putting the right kind of headlines into here so that Google has a right mix of headline variations to test for us. So generally speaking, when we want to create headlines, there is an industry practice that advertisers follow, and that is to create headlines that are trust focused, that are also keyword focused, that are benefits focused, and keywords that are offer focused, as well as keywords that are location focused. So in a short moment, you'll be seeing me use these variations of headlines in our ads, and it's going to help you understand better what I mean. So if you look closely, you realize that these 3 headlines here are what we call keyword focused headlines. And if you observe, you can see that the headlines here are very similar to the keywords that we have used when we were inserting keywords into the ads. So as you can see, they are all related. You can see office cleaning services, you can see commercial cleaning services, and professional office cleaning service. So the next set of headlines we'll be using are going to be trust focused. As you can see, the 3 headlines here are kind of like trust focused headlines, We have trusted cleaning professionals, and then we have thorough and affordable services, and then we have 24/7 cleaning support. So these are keywords or headlines that improve, that boost trust for potential customers for when searching on Google for our services. So when they see this in the headline, it boosts trust levels and it encourages them to take action. So our next set of headlines are also going to be benefit focused, and as you can see, you can always add more headlines here, and the more you fill out these requirements, the stronger your ad strength is. All right, so it's highly needed, it's highly encouraged that you fill out all of this requirement as much as you can without leaving anything out if possible. So we're going to continue to add more headlines until we've added sufficient headlines, and then we're going to move on to descriptions, and then we begin to add descriptions into our ad. As you can see, our next set of headlines are benefit oriented. You can see fast and reliable clearing. So the benefits of working with us when our potential clients search for our services online. And second benefit is keep your workplace spotless, and we also have flexible cleaning schedule. So we're going to move on to description. We're going to fill it out with as much information as we possibly can. So similar to the headlines, the descriptions too should vary in order to create a healthy ad set. So these are some sample descriptions that we have created for our ad. We have get reliable commercial and domestic cleaning tailored to your needs. We have under description, a professional team delivers thorough cleaning services you can count on. And then we also have this that says from residential cleaning to contract janitorial services, we provide dependable cleaning. Another one says enjoy a cleaner, healthier space. Book now or request your free custom code. So we are slowly building up our ad assets. So here is where we're going to add our site links. So site links generally add more clickable links to our ad that our prospective clients can click on, that will take them to a specific landing page or a specific page on our website. So when you click on this, it's going to open up site link text here, and to the right you can see how our ad is looking. And site link text, you can say get free quote. And when you look at the ad preview here, you can already see that our site links are showing, and this is what our prospective clients will be able to see when searching for services. So here we can add a description and say fast response for offices and facilities. Okay, that's too long. So you can just say fast response for facilities. So here is where we're gonna insert our URL that's gonna take our clients to a dedicated page on our website that is about getting a free code. So if you already have that in your website, so we're gonna add that. Say so here is where you can also add the security protocol, which is HTTPS. So, okay. So we have added our first site link, and then we're going to add our next site link. Okay, so when I try to hit create to create a site link, it gave us this error message. So what we can do is we can just replicate that here, and we can choose this to fast response for offices instead. And let's click on create, and then we have created our first site link, and then we can move on to create our second site link. So we've also created another site link called commercial cleaning, and we have filled out the information here as well as the final URL, and you can also see a preview of the site link here. So we're going to click on create, and then we're going to move on to the next site links. And as you can see, our ad strength is growing, and then we are actually meeting this criteria by Google that will determine how our ad strength. So we're going to add more site links to our ad. So as you can see, I've added more site links. We currently have 4 site links. We can always add more site links, but since this is a demonstration video, I just wanted to show you what site links are and how to create them. So the next asset we're going to create is what we call callouts. So callouts are essentially non-clickable assets that offer more selling points. So to create callouts, you're going to click on the plus sign, and then here is where you're going to begin to add in your selling point or your USP that is going to, so that's going to also show in your ads, and it can definitely help increase conversion rate. So another really interesting reason to add all of this information, including your site link callouts, is it helps your ad appear bigger on search engines, and that also makes it more visible to your prospective clients, and that increases your click-through rate. And when you have ads that look big, it also pushes your competitors' ads under, right? So it's absolutely worth the time to invest in building up your ad assets like your site links and callouts. So I've added 5 callout texts, and here is where you can see the callout text that I've added. Of course, you can add more the merrier, but for now, 5 callout text will do. And here you can see the preview on both desktop, and this is what your ad is going to look on desktop, and when you click on mobile view, this is what your ad is going to look on mobile. And we're going to hit save, and afterwards we're going to click apply. So we can definitely work on creating more ad assets like the structured snippet. So structured snippets basically highlight other aspects of your business, but they are not clickable. So to add structured snippets, you can just click on the add sign here, and here is where we're going to insert the values. So we are basically adding our services here. For example, we can say tract janitorial, janitorial services. Oh wait, okay, you can say, okay, okay, say cleaning services then, say cleaning services. You can say, okay, you can say office cleaning, for example. Services, we can say events cleaning services, if you take that. And you can also say domestic, okay, no, domestic doesn't fall under commercial services, commercial cleaning services. So you can say deep cleaning services. Alright, so we can click on create. Okay, so we need to select the header. So it's gonna fall under service catalog. Alright, so of course gonna be in English, and these are our services. So we're gonna select service catalog, click on create, and then afterwards we're also gonna click on save. So since we've added site links, we've added structural snippets, we've added callouts, so we can click on done, and then we can click on next. So here is where we're gonna select our, okay, so we need to confirm that it's us. So since we've added site links, we've added structural snippets, we've added callouts, so we can click on done, and then we can click on next. So here is where we're gonna select our, okay, so we need to confirm that it's us. So here is where we can select our average daily budget, and here are the budgets that Google recommends, but we can click here to set a custom budget. Perhaps if you want to spend $75 per day, and here gives us an idea of how many conversions we can expect to get weekly based on our ads, and then it is giving us how much the cost per conversion would be, and weekly cost. So this is per ad group, right? The more ad groups we create, this is at ad group level. Each ad group we can decide how much we want to spend. All right, so that's gonna be it for this session. Thank you for sticking with me, and I'll see you in the next Google Ads video.